Welcome back to the channel, Swayze gang. Thank you for tuning in. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why now is the absolute best time to sell your Dodge Challenger. So you might be made of questions right now as to why on earth did I say now is the best time to sell your Challenger? Well, there's actually a variety of different things going on right now that's affecting the used car market. And whether you like it or not, used car prices have been going up and up every single month. In fact, ISeeCars did a study of about 1 million used car vehicles from the months of July to August. And what they did was they tracked the prices of these vehicles over time. And what they found was, on average, used car prices increased about 4% from July to August, which is already pretty crazy considering the fact that ever since we were kids, we were told that used car prices always go down. Car prices in general decrease month after month, especially for used cars, because they depreciate. There's no such thing as an appreciating car asset unless the one caveat is if you have a classic car. But for the most part, on average, used car values decrease month after month. So why is it that used car prices actually increased 4% over the course of 1 month? More specifically, the Dodge Challenger actually had a record growth from the months of July to August. The price of a Dodge Challenger increased by 9% from July 2020 to August 2020, which is insane because if you think about the average price being around $30,000, that means the average price of a Dodge Challenger increased just shy of $3,000 in 1 month. I mean, that's almost better than classic car numbers. All right, so now that you have the facts, the question is, why is this happening? Well, like I mentioned earlier, there's a couple different things going on at the same time. The first and the most important being, well, we're living in a pandemic. As a lot of you are aware, the pandemic had shut down new car manufacturing across the entire industry. We're not just talking about American cars, but all over the world, manufacturing pretty much went to a standstill because all the global economies were shutting down, including the manufacturing of new vehicles. Now, the reason this is important to the story that I'm telling is because as a result of lower new vehicle production, you have a lot less new vehicle inventory on the lots of dealerships. And honestly, I've witnessed this firsthand. I've been searching my local dealerships here in Utah, trying to find a specific vehicle. Specifically, I've been looking at Dodge Challenger Hellcats. And I'll be the first to say that there is not a single Dodge Challenger Hellcat or Challenger Hellcat wide body in the state of Utah that's new on dealership lots. I've seen some red eyes, I've seen some scat packs, but I have not seen a Challenger Hellcat or Hellcat wide body in the last month or so. Whereas before the pandemic, I saw about a handful of vehicles on the lots just ready for sale. So how exactly does that affect the used car market? Well, when an individual comes in to buy a new vehicle and they're not able to find that car on the lot, they're most likely going to start either ordering the car and waiting up to 2 to 3 to 4 months to get that vehicle in their hands, or the more likely scenario, because they probably need a car sooner than that, they're going to start searching the used car market. And so whereas previously you would have a market for used cars and a market for new cars, you're having people transition from the new car market. You have all this demand on that segment moving into the used cars category. And so obviously the forces of supply and demand come into play because now you have a lot more demand for essentially the same supply of vehicles. Another force that's at play causing used car prices to go up is because there's no new cars on dealership lots, there's fewer trade-in vehicles coming in to the dealerships. And as a result, you have a lower supply of used cars on the market. At the same time, a lot of people have been very negatively affected by the pandemic. I'm talking about economically and financially. And for that reason, individuals who may have previously looked for purchasing or leasing a new vehicle people are going to be a little bit maybe more hesitant to buy a new car. Even though they may have a job and they're making a living, they're going to be a little bit more cautious because they're uncertain where the future is headed. And for that reason, they're most likely going to lean more towards the used car market than they are for a new car. And going off of people who have been affected by the pandemic, some people may choose not to list their used car because they don't want to go out and buy a different vehicle. They're just going to stick with whatever they have, whether it's paid off or there's a loan to it. They already know what that payment is, and they're not going to want to go out and buy a new or used vehicle. So let's sum up the forces of economics that are at play here. There's less supply of new vehicles due to manufacturing shutdowns, which results in lower supply of used vehicles because people aren't trading them in. They're not upgrading their vehicles because there's no new vehicles to upgrade for. And as a result, you have low supply of used cars. At the same time, you have high demand from people that have a little bit of extra money lying around and were already prepared to buy a new vehicle, but instead have transitioned to buy a used car because they can't find the new one they want on the market. And you have people who are being a little bit more conservative with their money and deciding, well, I'd rather buy a used car than I would a new car. So high demand and low supply is what's resulting the used car prices to just skyrocket over the brief 6-month stint since the pandemic really took its effect. So why specifically the Challenger? Well, that's up for debate. I don't think anybody really knows the answer to that. I have a theory, and I don't know if it's right or not, but the manufacturing of new Challengers was hit really hard during the pandemic. And I think because of that, there is a high demand for Challengers and a low supply because the manufacturing just isn't able to catch up. And since there's a lack of new Challengers on the market, people have jumped towards the used market. Now, on top of that, I think there are a lot of people out there that have extra discretionary money that they've been saving up over time. And you know, the Challenger is a roomy muscle car, sports car, and so people are able to justify buying a Challenger because it's a fun toy that they can take out on the weekends because they're, you know, locked in at home and there's nothing else to do. There's no going out to movies or going out to restaurants. They might as well get a fun car that they can, you know, jump in and drive around the canyons in. And at the same time, it's roomy enough that people can still fit their kids in here and still be able to go on road trips. That's just one theory. I don't know what the truth is, to be honest, but that could be one of the reasons why the Challenger has been doing so well over the past 6 months. So that pretty much sums up today's video. If you guys are considering selling your Challenger because you either want to upgrade or maybe you gotta upsize or downsize, whatever the reason is, now's probably the best time to do it. At the same time, I will say there are a lot of good new car deals on the market, and that's just because manufacturers are definitely incentivizing people to go out and spend some money, and they're offering amazing rebates and interest rates for these vehicles. You can get 0% financing for like 72 months. You can get very, very low interest rate lease offers on vehicles. And so if you have the opportunity and you're looking to get out of your car, you might as well sell your car right now and either buy or lease a new vehicle, or just wait a few months and buy or lease a new vehicle when you have some more money saved up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this somewhat simple but also a little bit complicated to explain video. Definitely let me know if you guys have any questions below because I'm happy to explain it. I am not a guru when it comes to this stuff, but I figured I would let you guys know in case you weren't aware of what's going on with the used car market. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That's what keeps these videos coming. That's what keeps the new content coming. All right, so my camera battery died, so I wasn't able to film the outro of this video. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned. As soon as we hit 8,000 subs before the end of the year, there's gonna be an awesome giveaway for all you folks out there. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when that happens. Like always, find me on Instagram at Shwazy_. Take care and have a wonderful day. Stay Shwazy, my friends.